EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. At the 23-yard line. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This is Coleman with a grab. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Rodgers now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bears take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Trubisky. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Jordan Reed has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says let's take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
59, Mike, 59, Mike. Check, 59. 18. Shit.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Well, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Seibert able to knock this one through. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Showing up.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. This is Coleman. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
26. Hey, 88. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defenses, I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 20. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Trubisky trying to lay one up deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Watch the car! Watch the car! Jump out!
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Coleman. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
58, come on. 58, come on. Come on. Check nickel.
Now it's Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will tie us at 3-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch 54. Here we go.
Now Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
54, Mike, 54.
On first down, it's Coleman, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Get 300. Get 300. Hey, exit.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that will wind up just short. He had it online. It ran out of gas at the end, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
8 yards on the pickup brings up second and 2 at the 47-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. This is Cohen. Wiggles free. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's first and 10.
Get away. Mike, check.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Buying time to his left. Looking long for his tight end. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it second and 14.
58. 319. Stop here, D. Inside. Hey, wahoo! What's the run? They're running it.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Let's go, D. Switch. Next one.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Let's go! Let's go!
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. They go play action with Trubisky. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 65 yards.
And a Packer 1st down.
So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. This will be caught by Brown.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
On third down, here's Coleman. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? And this one is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Check pass. Check pass. Alert.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And now a carry here for their fullback. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, 78 yards. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Well, that one's hard to believe. Not something you see every day. A very long run for the big guy.
Normally we see his counterpart, right? The scat back, the guy with the so-called speed. But we saw a little bit of everything there, didn't we? The big, powerful man with the football. He can also stretch it out a little bit in the open field.
This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Double dog. That's the way.
Now Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First down, Green Bay.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Check. Check out route. Hot, hot.
From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Rodgers operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. I'm trying to collect.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey, orbit. Big ass. Blue.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers completes it to Lee. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Right back to Coleman here on first down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll run on first down. Coleman. There he goes again. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 33 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated in touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
18.
On second down, Johnson. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He's back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense. Kill.
Throwing now is Trubisky. And he will find his man on the outside. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Hey, Haywood. Mike's 50.
Here we go, 50. Mike 50.
All day, baby, all day.
Back to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 21. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
The screen pass here to Cohen. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 16.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Check Mike 54. Mike 50. Alpha. Hey, alert.
Check 49.
back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Mike, up! Ready? Hey, let's get this,
Trubisky to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Hey, back up. 58, come on. 58,
To throw is Rodgers. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st down, Green Bay.
Only 58. 58, right there. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 26. 58, 58, Mike. Dan. Shit. Hey, high 7. 58.
One final try now for Rodgers. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
First down, Packers.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This from long, very long range. And this doesn't get there. It's no good. They had to go for it, but their final effort here is going to come up short. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Chicago, they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're able to eke out the 1-point victory here in the opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles.